This was a tough one to lose, but the Warriors fought a great regular season game at home against the NBA's best team in the Phoenix Suns, down to the wire without Stephen Curry. But Chris Paul shows once again why he is one of the most clutch players in history, and I want to break down how the Suns were able to prevail down the stretch. Let's get into it. With the Suns clinging onto a 2-point lead and no CP3 or Booker in the game, they decide to swing the ball for the best shot available. Shamet gets the ball on a sideline screen and swings it to Biyombo for a handoff to attack the middle of the court where Bjelica is. The Warriors do a good job of switching this, and it leads to a dead-end campaign ISO on Iguodala, which is not a good idea. However, I'm not sure why GP2 left his man to double on the baseline when Iggy clearly did not need help, forcing Clay to rotate down to the big man and then close out to an open Bridges. Porter Jr. has the next pass, but this is too late as Bridges swings it in the air for a deep Shamet 3. When Chris Paul comes in the game, you can feel his immediate impact. Here he rejects the screen against a defender 8 inches taller, and Porter Jr. is on the wrong side and sprints to double. Smooth behind the back pass to an open Crowder, and Bjelica goes up as the next rotating defender. This now becomes Jordan Poole's weak side help, but because Shamet goes higher on the wing, JP is unable to read this in time and Crowder hits a cutting Torrey Craig for a wide open layup. This all started from Chris Paul. The Suns wanted to run CP and Ayton pick and roll to see how the Warriors cover this. The Dubs shade this and Shamet comes up for the release as Ayton dives and gets solid post position as Draymond Green is running back to defend him. Shamet with a nice entry pass, and Ayton turns around for a nice jump hook in rhythm, and Draymond is just too small to block this type of shot. As much as Warriors fans like me dislike the way Chris Paul plays the game sometimes, his clutch impact is undeniable. The Suns run a decent break here, but Draymond's incredible defense forces a timely switch onto Devin Booker as he has an open lane to the rim. But CP3 with the shot clock running down is simply in his bag of tricks, as he again rejects this screen by Bridges as GP2 forces him to go left. And once again, you're trailing Chris Paul, you know he's either going to stop in his track or draw some kind of bullshit foul. So GP2 tries to avoid that, and when he is trailing, CP exploits this wide open. Wiggins cannot help too early off of Ayton for the lob by Chris Paul, and he gets a smooth finger roll to beat the shot clock. With the game tied under 2 minutes left, the Suns run a high screen by Bridges to get the switch Chris Paul wants in Jordan Poole, who's obviously a much worse defender than Andrew Wiggins. In the weak side, you have Crowder cutting through, and both Booker and Ayton are on the strong side, so Chris Paul knows he can attack the paint without help defenders leaving their man. Gets to step on Jordan Poole, and notice both Clay stick to Devin Booker, and Dre not fully helping off of Ayton. Chris Paul snakes his way towards the middle of the paint where it is wide open with no help defenders and jump stops into a classic pull-up 10-footer. After a crucial Warriors turnover, Chris Paul calls the next Suns play. Once again, a Sun comes up for a high pick in the same position Paul has been in, and this time he actually uses the screen and gets another switch onto Otto Porter Jr., who is a decent defender himself. But for some reason he's forcing him to the sideline, which I'm assuming he knows he has help compared to the middle of the court, but CP pulls a nice hezzy and gets right by him with Porter Jr. trailing once again. Similar play to the previous Jordan Poole one, Porter just does not want to accidentally run into Paul for the foul. Ayton is in the dunker spot with Green not helping until the very last minute, but CP3 is just too good and hits the off-balance floater to put the Suns up by 3 to close out the game. That was a solid performance by the Warriors, obviously without Stephen Curry playing, and rather an unimpressive but necessary win by the Phoenix Suns. Both teams played great defense and forced enough turnovers, but also missed plenty of layups and open shots. Jordan Poole might have had the best game of his career so far, carrying the load once again as Klay Thompson shot flat. But the overall consistent theme of the season has been the Phoenix Suns' ability to close out games in the clutch, and having Chris Paul control the tempo and Devin Booker make timely buckets contributes immensely to their NBA's best overall record. The two teams split the season series, and hopefully the Warriors can avoid a 4 or 5 seed, and all basketball fans would crave a best of 7 in the Western Conference Finals. Now, a good long break for the Dubs. Hope you guys like this breakdown, and like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys this weekend.